Hello friends, very warm welcome to this quick revision session. This is pertaining to the input tax credit, which is very important area from your syllabus CA intern. Now the term input tax credit means the benefit of the taxes paid by the procurer to the supplier in the value addition taxation chain. So whatever taxes those are paid by a registered person to supplier should be offset against his liability. That is the basic principle of value addition taxation system, which we have seen in detail. So what are the provisions related to that input tax credit that we are going to quickly revise? First of all, that input tax credit term means the taxes paid on procurement of inputs, capital goods and input services, all of three. Because of the used word input, it doesn't only restrict to inputs, but it covers all three categories. What is capital goods? Something that is capitalized in the books of accounts would be capital. It is a straightforward term. Having a nature of service would be input service, and inputs would be anything other than input capital goods and input services. Now, what are the conditions to claim input tax credit under GST? Let us understand that. First and foremost condition, the person who is going to claim the input tax credit should be registered in the GST regime. An unregistered person cannot claim the benefit of input tax credit. Second of all the procurements for which the input tax credit is being claimed should be in the course or furtherance of business, or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of business. So that is also very important. Then the supplier, whoever is supplying the goods and services, should furnish the details of such suppliers in his respective statements. That is another condition. Then the goods or services procured should be received by the recipient. So if there is a time lag between the tax invoice and the actual receipt of goods and services, then the input tax credit becomes eligible to be claimed as benefit only when the goods or services are received by the buyer or the recipient. Then another condition is that the tax payment means the person who is supplying the goods and recovering the tax from the buyer should pay the tax to the government. Unless and until the tax is deposited into the government treasury, the benefit of input tax cannot be claimed by the procurer or the buyer. Then another condition which is related to input tax credit is that the return should be filed by the buyer to claim the input tax credit, because the government cannot know that what is your claim of input tax credit. For that, you need to suo motu file the details, and those details are filed through return under section 39, which is GSTR 3B. So filing of return is another condition. These are the main conditions, and also there are some other conditions. Other conditions being the payment of tax and the basic value, means the total invoice value should be made by the buyer to the supplier within 180 days from the receipt of from the date of invoice. So that is another condition. Also, there is a difference between ITC availment and ITC utilization. Availment means availing or taking up the benefit of input tax credit into the system, and utilization means offsetting that benefit along with the liability of the person. So there is a difference between that. There is a restriction as per section 16(4) on availment. So latest the availment can be done up till the next year's, means next financial year's September month's filing date of return, which is in the current budget extended to 30th November. But as of now, we can understand that it is next year's September month's return filing date. But there is no restriction on the utilization. So once the credit is availed in the books of accounts, it can be carried forward and set off until unlimited period of time. So there is no restriction or limit on that. I hope that this helps you to quickly revise the important provisions related to input tax credit. We will cover the block credits under section 75 separately to revise which are the credits which are never eligible to be claimed as benefit in GST. Thank you so much.